Now back to the studio, and we're back to our home stretch, and it's my pleasure to welcome Timi Pudie. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Timi Pudie is a filmmaker with an astonishing creative latitude in the production ecosystem.
Well, one thing you can take away is, first of all, how does it feel being in front of the camera? You are used to being behind the camera.
It's quite intimidating, I would say.
Oh, so now you know how those you
How it
put.
feels.
How do you know? How do you know how they feel when you put them in front?
When the lights are on you, it's a different feel altogether.
When you put the lights on people all the time.
No, please, say it better. He puts a lot of lights on people's faces, and I'm one of his victims.
Oh.
Yes.
I see.
I'm one of his victims. We
All
just
right.
happen to volunteer in the same unit. And I'm the one he's always putting the lights on. Okay, so.
Thank you.
Thank you for what?
He does look
retaliating?
He does look intimidated. Relax.
I'm going to try.
Well, you heard Alera say before we came on air the other time that there was a time that she's one of the most prominent voices of commercials on radio.
In those days.
In those days. That doesn't mean that she's any less relevant now.
No, the voice is still the same.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
you are a filmmaker. But let me detail that. Maybe we want to detail what does it mean to be a filmmaker? Tell us about that.
Okay.
It's easy to assume that you know what it means to make a film.
Yeah.
But tell us what it comprises.
Okay. I'm going to say that it's quite vast. So most times when people hear filmmakers, most times what they think about is just Nollywood movies.
That's right.
But it's way beyond that. I told somebody once, people don't realize that those who make TV commercials are short filmmakers. They make very high quality short films because it's you telling a whole story in 60 seconds. It's a whole different skill set.
Or 30.
Or 30. It's a whole different skill set. And sometimes the work involved in that is way more than writing that whole 90 minutes movie that you tell. You have the time to tell everything. So there are people who do the digital movies for cinema.
This is one of your films?
For YouTube, yeah. That's The Mechanic. It's a short film I made there sometime in 2016, I think.
Okay.
How short?
It's about 16 minutes.
Okay.
And it won the best short film Nigeria in Abuja Nigeria Film Festival.
Whoa.
For 2017. So, thank you. The story behind that was actually one of those where in Nigeria, it's assumed that if you're going to be a filmmaker, you have to be in Lagos if you need to have a shot at a career. So in most other parts of the country, the industry is not yet there, so to say. So if you want to be an actor, you're in maybe Warri, where I grew up, you have to have something else you're doing or you don't have a career. So when I started, I grew up in Warri. I went to film school in Cape Town, South Africa. When I came back, there was this thing where everybody felt like, no, you can't do anything. So The Mechanic was one of those challenges I took on. So the entire crew, I was a director, I wrote, I produced, directed, did almost everything. But practically everybody else, my DOP and all of that, everybody was from Warri. People who have trained, but we're all asking ourselves these questions. Are we going to be here? Are we going to go? So we took that risk and made a movie that won national award. For all of us in the team, it was the first time having that kind of feeling. It did a whole lot of good. It made us believe that regardless of where you are, and it's the same message we tell everybody right now, excellence is excellence.
Exactly.
If you live in Lagos or you live in some remote place, if you are committed to excellence, it's excellence. So in filmmaking, for example, people can castigate Nigeria. We have a lot of great stories, but it's unfortunate that only a few people take out time to really cook it, and then the whole process. We talked about light just now. Something as basic as light is so fundamental to the whole process of filmmaking, but sometimes let's just do. You just slap it here and there, and it comes out, and it looks, and you tell there's a story in here, but it's so offensive to watch, you can't stay through to the end.
But do people appreciate the effort that goes into it? I ask that because people just want to see a movie, just want to see the story. Quality, define quality. So some people just want to see a film. They just want to watch a movie.
That's the thing. I think it's an innate thing. people appreciate the quality without even knowing they do. Let me put it that way. So I tell my other professionals in the work, when we talk sometimes, I say, this is the crazy thing. When we are talking our technical jargons, we go all about, I want to shoot in the Red Gemini 5K, the Beast 8K, and Ari. After all the technical jargons,
I'll just say, are you
for the man
done?
out there, there's only one thing that matters. The film is very clear.
Finish.
So
Finish.
I always say
The film is clear, the
clear,
audio is
audio
clear.
is good,
I don't
finish.
have to hang on to my remote and be turning up, down. When Timi talks,
Yeah.
I have to turn it down. When he talks, I have to raise
Do you
it.
understand? So investing a little more time in those technical things to put together one thing that when that person looks at it and says it's clear, they're telling you everything about it is just okay. Like you said, I don't have to at this point say reduce, it's getting too loud, and then increase. Something as basic as doing a final mix and mastering of your audio after the movie. But not everyone is detailed enough to do those tiny things. And sometimes it's I understand the actual challenge there for the average filmmaker, especially those who work in the Nollywood space with movies. The funds are often not there. In the commercials, it might be a bit different. So,
I'm sure you have long since moved away from Warri.
oh yeah.
Because all these brands I'm seeing here, you couldn't have been staying in Warri and getting to do all these commercials.
I left home since 2015. 2015, and I've been around since then.
And you have been afloat since then.
I have been quite lovely. Just living
Oh yes, I can see that. I can see the list here. You know.
Let me just poke this.
Yeah.
Talking about commercials, we can't mention brands, obviously.
Yeah.
But we've gone quite a long way from what existed in the 80s.
Yeah.
Where the production quality was in one way or at one level. In some cases, they used graphics, paper graphics, to where we are today.
Yeah.
Well, the industry has moved since then. Yes.
But do you think the minds have moved with the industry?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because the growth, we're talking about the people in that space, it's personal. Everybody's responsible for their growth. There are people around now that you meet who are investing in themselves to go learn, to grow, because the thing is people are getting aware every day that the minute your work is going to go online, your competition is no longer your neighbor next door. People will judge that work the way they judge anybody from anywhere on the planet. So if you really want to play in that global space, you have to up what you're doing.
Yeah.
So because of that, quite a number of persons are pushing the barriers. Like, now that back then, like you're saying, when you were using those things, you had an excuse for why your quality shouldn't be the same. But you're using the same equipment you're using in the same Hollywood stuff right now. So people will judge you the same. Okay. Yes, not everybody has gotten there, but it's only a matter of time. When you realize the industry is leaving you behind, you move.
Nobody will tell you.
Nobody will tell you.
Let me ask you this. I saw the making of The Sound of Music. They had to use helicopters for that opening shot. But now, of course, the drones are there. Tell us what technology, what innovations we need to see, or rather that are already coming up, that if you don't ship in, you will ship out. One of them is VR. So tell us if there are some others like that, and you only have about 60
Cut out
seconds.
the jargon, thank you.
It's virtual reality. Is it VR? Is that virtual reality?
It's actually virtual reality. Okay. So there are so many that you can't list, but I always come back to the base. When you bring all those technology, you always have to first consider the market you're feeding. Because you can do VR and then you ask in Nigeria right now, how many people have access to even watch it? What kind of TVs do you have? What kind of theaters do we have that can actually allow you to enjoy the whole experience? Like we said earlier, you have a 4K TV at home and all the videos you have are in 1080. and then you shoot 4K, and maybe the station that's going to air it or wherever is going to do 1080. So after you shoot 4K, 5K, 8K, when you are now sending it to the local stations, you still bring it to 1080 or 720. So you ask yourself, so why did I kill myself?
Why did I bother?
And all of that. So you want to grow globally, but at the same time, you have to be responsive to your environment you are in, so that you don't alienate yourself. That does not also mean you have to drop your quality. You can still deliver quality while still being appreciative of your environment.
What are you working on at the moment?
Well, right now, I just finished I was on set the last 2 days. We're doing a TV commercial for StarHub. It's the youth expression of Daystar Christian Center. So something is coming up. So they have this amazing story they were telling. So I was opportune to be directing the commercial. So we're on set the last 2 days, and it was really fun. It was both work and a teaching experience for me, because you have so many young people were asking 1,001 questions whilst the work was going on. Boy, it was wonderful. I loved doing that.
When work is fun, it's more enjoyable, isn't
it? Exactly.
Timi Pudie, a filmmaker, thank you very much for joining us on Sunrise today and
my pleasure.
Closing our show. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, man.
So, thank you for being with us today. That's our package. I'll see you next week with another interesting package, or rather, we will see you next week. Amalero Edu.
Just in case I want to go somewhere, right?
Who knows?
Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Bye-bye.